Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to work on lesson 1.5, which involves fractions greater than 1. So please jot down the lesson 1.5 at the top of your page, and then below that I'd like you to write the I can statement. I can convert fractions greater than 1 to mixed numbers and mixed numbers to fractions greater than 1. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. So let's take a look at this string of unit fractions. If I was going to add this up, I'd need to figure out what my total is. Since the denominator is the same all the way across, that's going to stay a 4. So all I have to do is add the numerator. So I've got 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, which is going to give me a total of 5 fourths. Now I can also represent this by drawing some pictures. Okay? And those pictures are going to be helpful for a reason when we talk about what the number is and we put it into a mixed number. Okay? So let's look at this picture right here. It equals 5 fourths because I've got one whole that's shaded in with all 4 parts green, and the second one has one of those parts. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fourths. So this fraction is a fraction greater than 1. We can also do it as a fraction bar if you prefer it that way. Okay, you can see here I've got all 4 of these filled out, shaded in, and I've got one of these for a total of 5 fourths. So how does that help me? Okay, well, when I look at this, I can circle 4 fourths to equal 1 whole. Whenever the numerator and denominator in a fraction are exactly the same number, that means they equal a number 1 whole. And since I know my denominator here is 4, if I go 1, 2, 3, 4 fourths, which is represented not only here but down here in the fraction bar, that gives me the number 1 whole. Okay? And you can see on the outside here I still have 1/4 left behind. And if you do these as groups of unit fractions, you can easily group these out to figure out every time I've got a box like this, I've got a whole number. Okay? So my mixed number is going to be 1 and 1/4, which is shown in both of these pictures here. Alright, so we're going to talk about reading and understanding mixed numbers. Okay? This fraction here is read as 1 and 1/6. Okay? It means the same thing as 1 plus 1/6. So if I've got one whole pizza and 1/6 of another, I would have 1 and 1/6 pizzas. I could add those two together. Okay? So let's look at this one. I've got 2 plus 7/8. Well, how would I write the mixed number for that? I'd write it like this. How do I say it? I say it 2 and 7/8. Let's try the next one. 5 plus 9/10. How would you write that? Can you picture it in your mind? 5 and 9/10. Let's do the last one. We've got 7 plus 3/5. I'm going to write it like that. That's going to give us a total of 7 and 3/5. So that's it in written form, and that's how we put those fractions with whole numbers together. Okay? So let's talk about fractions with several wholes. First thing we want to do is we want to look at this and we want to say, okay, let's look at one whole. How many parts is the one whole divided into? Well, I can see a part here and a part here for a total of 2 parts. So 2 is going to be my denominator when I talk about writing this fraction. Okay? So when I look at this fraction here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sections that are shaded green. So I'm going to write that as a fraction greater than 1, which means the numerator is bigger than my denominator. It's going to be 7 halves. Now, how would I write that as a mixed number? Well, how many wholes are shaded in right now in green? 1, 2, 3. There's my whole number. What's left here? Well, I've got 1 out of 2, or half of this one shaded. So my mixed number is going to be 3 and 1/2. Let's try this one down here. Okay, and by the way, whenever you're looking at any of these shaded in shapes, to figure out what your denominator is to be, you only look at one of the shapes. A common mistake is kids will count more than one, so watch out for that one. Just count one of the shapes here. So this shape has divided into 3 equal parts, so that's going to be my denominator. So how many are shaded? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are shaded. So that's going to give me 7/3. Again, how many whole shapes are completely shaded in? Well, I've got 2, and then how much of this one is shaded in? Well, 1 out of 3, or 1/3. So that would be 2 and 1/3. All right. The next thing we're talking about is building mixed numbers from unit fractions. Okay. You can see here I have a string of 1/3s here. Again, I'm just going to remember, hey, the denominator stays the same. As long as they're all common denominators, I can add these right up, and I'm just going to add the numbers up at the top. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 thirds. Okay, so now I want to figure out what does that equal in terms of being a mixed number. How do I turn that fraction greater than 1 into a mixed number? Okay, well, I'm going to start looking at groups of 3. Now, why did I pick 3? Because in order for a fraction to equal 1 whole, the numerator, the number on top, has to be identical to the number on the bottom. Since I have thirds here, or 3, I need to have 3 on the top. And the way I'm going to get that is I'm going to add 1 plus 1 plus 1 to give me 3 thirds. So 1 third plus 1 third plus 1 third equals 3 thirds, or the whole number 1, because that numerator and denominator are the same. I'm going to do that with another group because I've got enough that I can do that. So again, I've got 1 third plus 1 third plus 1 third, which equals 3 thirds, or 1. And then what do I have left behind? Well, I have 1 third and 1 third, so that's going to give me 2 thirds left behind. So now I can write that as a mixed number, as 2 and 2 thirds. The boxes represent my whole numbers, and this represents what's left over that's going to be the fraction. All right. Now, next thing we're talking about is changing mixed numbers to fractions greater than 1. We're going to break this thing down in a couple steps. Some of you will be able to do this quicker, and that's fine, but I want to just kind of take you through all the steps that are involved here. So, 2 and 3/4. So I'm going to take 2 plus 3/4. Now I'm going to break my 2 into the whole individual whole numbers, with each one being 1 whole. So that's going to be 1 plus 1 plus 3/4. We're still equal 2 and 3/4 right now. Now I'm going to change my 1s into fraction form. All I have to do is look at my denominator. My denominator is 4. I have to remember when I'm talking about a fraction that's 1 whole, it's going to be 4/4. Numerator and denominator have to be the same. So 4/4 plus 4/4 plus 3/4, which equals 11/4. All I have to do is add that up. 4 plus 4 is 8. 3 more is 11. Okay? And we can do it the other way. If I've got 9/4, I can start taking out 1 whole out of here. Remember, 4/4 equals 1 whole, so I can take out 4/4. And there's enough for me to take out another 4/4 plus 1/4. Okay? And again, 4 plus 4 plus 1 is 9. It works backwards, so I did that right. Good thing to check. And now I'm going to turn my 4/4, that's going to be 1, plus another 4/4 is 1, plus 1/4, which equals a total. Whoops, that's the wrong total, ladies and gentlemen. Pretend with me that that says 2 and 1/4. I know this is wrong. In fact, let's do this. No, bad. It should be a 1. See, even I mess up a lot, so don't worry about it. Just means we got to go in and fix it. So that should be 1/4. All right, here's your practice problems for today. There's only 3 of them. I just need you to write down the numbers 1, 2, and 3 in your book, and I want you to name the mixed numbers shown by the parts in number 1. And number 2, write the mixed number shown as a fraction. So you're going to take this as should be a fraction greater than 1. Okay, so you're going to turn this, I should not see a whole number here at all. You're going to turn 3 into fifths, and you're going to make a fraction greater than 1. And this is a fraction greater than 1 that I want you to make as a mixed number. And we'll see you in class.